Coverage of the National Football League takes us to the banks of the Ohio River and Paycor Stadium in the Queen City of Cincinnati. Today we've got a good one on tap in the AFC North, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
At their own 27-yard line.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slash and run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
They go play action with Jackson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Jackson now. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. Charlie Jones deep for Cincinnati. And this will be taken at the 13. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Bengals take over, 1st and 10. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And his throw's going to be incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
They'll run for the first time here with Brown, as he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while, because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Another run for Brown on 2nd down. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. 1st down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They go play action with Burrow. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
So it looks like they stopped some fight in them on this series, because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Now it's Burrow. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead.
McPherson's kick is good.
And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Evan McPherson.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And the first drive, 3 and out. 2nd possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good start. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
Boy, you go 3 and out on your first drive, and that's not the way you want to start this drive either. Doesn't seem like they're really into it just yet.
No, first 4 plays, you don't want to call it a disaster, but not looking very sharp. Here's Jackson to throw.
This will go to Henry out wide.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
It's a gain of 7. Makes it 3rd and 4.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So that as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football. All right, you're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
Well, just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Jackson. That's caught. It's Flowers. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. And that seemed to me to be all about trusting your receiver.
No doubt about it, because when he put that ball in the air, I will guarantee you everyone who's watching this game right now thought that's up for grabs. But this is a lot of practice time. As you mentioned, a ton of trust, and he knows how good his guy is. So to him, it wasn't up for grabs. To him, it was a big play waiting to happen.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now it's Jackson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And this brings up a 3rd and goal.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
3rd and goal, Jackson.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
And this one is right through. And that will tie us at 3-3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Over the middle here to Brown. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Over the middle, complete. It's Hudson. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
From a couple of yards beyond midfield, here's 2nd and 8.
Now they go play action now. Burrow.
Open man is Yoshivas.
His first catch there. Good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The quick throw by Burrow is complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
Got a man, it's Brown. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
I know it was a game, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Maxx Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. It's rare that a receiver of his caliber would drop one pass, but that's now 2 times he's had his mitts on one and lost it.
Yeah, and I don't think that they're going to lose confidence in him, though, because of the track record. Such a good player, maybe having a bad game, but I think they'll still go to him in a critical spot.
Quick strike out wide by Jackson. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
These two teams all tied after one. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a third down coming up. Here's Jackson. They set up the screen for Henry. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Henry out of the pistol. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
They'll run it again with Henry. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And this one is incomplete.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
Here's Jordan Stout now.
For the Ravens.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10
at the 20.
And they'll begin here with a run by Brown.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Burrow looking to pass. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
It's a gain of
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And all the way down to the 35. A big play there for Cincinnati. 45 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
This will be caught by Brown. Nothing at all on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
Now Burrow.
Throw left side, complete to Chase. And Chase going to pick up a Bengals 1st down as the tackle is made right at the 25-yard line.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
44 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Here's Burrow.
That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
A 5-yard touchdown catch, and the Bengals have taken the lead.
Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, gotta give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And able to get this out to the 25.
The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
They'll start with the option.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
It'd be hard to say that a defense wouldn't be ready for a first down run. When you can gain that kind of yardage against a defense that's really kind of geared to stop that play, your confidence has to rise, and now you've actually opened up your playbook. If you want to throw the ball now for play action, you're good to go.
Running from the gun with Henry. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 2 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
But we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit. But how about guys who are maulers? Because that's what you want in short yardage situations. And we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. And now Jackson will look to throw it. A slant route caught by Bateman. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that will bring up 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And he'll be brought down right on the 50, a gain of 3. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Now it's Henry. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first.
Well, it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went in and went heavy. No surprise I knew he was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. To throw is Jackson. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Jackson. He finds Hopkins complete.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
And they're not going to get this one off in time. It'll be a delay. Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback, as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there, because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
Not ideal there. That delay of game backs him up 5 yards, so now they need 7 yards on 3rd down. Now Jackson. He'll try and do this himself. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Down to the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. It's a scintillating run by Lamar Jackson. And the Ravens are an extra point away from drawing level. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice game.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points.
all level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
Now, I'm not putting him in the Hall of Fame, but if you look at the great linebackers in history, they all have that ability to innately sense where a play is going, sometimes even before the ball snapped, and they're there and they end up making the play.
Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Open man is Higgins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
Hits his target. That's Charlie Jones.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Setting up the screen to Pirine. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's second down.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Now it's Burrow. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Able to find the open man. That's complete. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
First down. First and goal at the 3-yard line.
Now it's Burrow. To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far, even backed up late. They're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Burrow will throw. Touchdown, Bengals! Joe Burrow spotting T. Higgins for the touchdown there. And the Bengals will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. So that really an almost perfect drive as they chew up some clock and wind up scoring late in this first half.
And remember, they've got a chance to double dip here because they're going to get the ball first to start the third quarter. So the potential could go up 2 scores before the other guys get a chance to do anything.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that makes it a 17-10 score.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Ravens going to get one more drive here in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
At the 25-yard line.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
1 touchdown is the difference. 17-10 our score, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Bengal offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 61 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second.
Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 17 more yards. They had 17 on the previous snap as well.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Over the middle here to Brown. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it's 2nd down. So a decent gain there, but not their 4th consecutive first down like they had on the first 3 plays.
You sound almost disappointed there. You want to fire the offensive coordinator on that one or what?
They'd gotten into a rhythm. I thought they were just going to keep going.
Well, almost a win for the defense, but if that's your win, you're not doing very well right now.
Open man is Yoshivas.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Brings up second and
I see the
goal.
surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal. Throwing again, it's Burrow. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
When you run into slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
And now third and goal following incompletions on first and second down.
Now they go play action now. Burrow. Open man is Higgins, and he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. And McPherson on for the extra point. And the lead is up to 14.
Makes the score Bengals 24, Ravens 10.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
And he's going to have a Ravens first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
Seemed like they picked an excellent time there, Charles, to go with the draw play.
They certainly did. Caught him a little over-eager trying to get into the backfield and get to the quarterback. They used their speed and their aggressiveness against them, didn't they?
They run the option here on first and 10.
And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Now it's Jackson. They set up the screen for Henry. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Jackson, option right.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38.
And that one will go for 13 yards on the keeper and a first down.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Jackson now. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Here's Jackson. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. And the defense coming through on third down. A loss of 7 to bring up fourth.
At that time, finally a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense. Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. Burrow looking to pass. Throw left side complete. That's Brown. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
4 yards.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
Well, after watching him ring the bell that many times and put the ball in the end zone throwing it, you had to figure they had to bring some type of pressure. They had to change things up on defense.
And able to get to him, put him on the ground, so maybe just something to throw him off a little bit.
Yeah, that had to feel a lot better for the defensive guys. They've been getting carved up in this one. To finally knock him on the ground and force an incompletion, that's got to be a sigh of relief.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. This is Brown going up the middle. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want him to catch the football first.
Burrow to his old LSU teammate Chase for a Bengal first.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
From the gun, a give to Brown.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Off the edge and right to the ball that time was Kyle Van Noy.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double-team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Now Burrow.
It connects quickly to Jamar Chase.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So They need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
They keep it on the ground. Again, it's Brown. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Now they'll bring one of their tight ends in motion right. So offense moving a little too slow there, could not get set, and they get the penalty.
Well, everybody of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
We'll see as they come up again here, 3rd and goal. Here's Burrow. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I know we saw the pass and the completion and obviously the resulting loss of yardage. To me, that play broke down with the blocking on it, because if you're going to try and swing it that far outside, that blocking's got to hold up to give your guy a chance.
And the defense, they weren't fooled at all.
No, not at all. But were they aggressive on that one?
And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away.
Gets around him.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th.
2nd down, they go again with Henry. 81 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Again, it's Henry. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On 3rd down, Henry. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give them a lot of confidence to help turn things around. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
There they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Throwing is Jackson.
He'll try and do this himself.
Past the 20. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
And it looks like one of the DBs has it.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Burrow on play action.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
A 7-yard loss.
Maxx Crosby picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Back to throw now on 1st down.
And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Nnamdi Madubuike able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Now the play clock hits 0 here, and we're going to get a delay.
So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
They'll give this up the middle to Brown. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance, they're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a 1st down.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
They'll start with a give to Henry.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
95 yards on the ground now for Henry. He's got a first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46.
That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
A first down carry for Henry.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I'm not sure you can be more efficient on offense than to have 3 downs and have the ball turn into first downs. And defensively, you've got to figure out how to slow them down. Some guys might bring more pressure. Some guys might be a little more exotic. And as a last resort, you might even call timeout and try and regroup.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered, they still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Andrews. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up second down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
4 yards to go on second down from the 7.
Jackson.
And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown.
It's a 6-yard touchdown pass.
And the Ravens have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Well, they needed 3 scores to have any chance. There's the first of the 3 as they get into the end zone.
Yeah, Brandon, I think that our guys at Next Gen Stats in charge of the win probability are probably saying your chances still aren't great. But now, you still got more than 3 minutes to go. You got to focus on the task at hand, which is going to be getting the football back as quickly as possible.
Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
A gain of 5 brings up second and 5 at the Ravens' 36-yard line.
An inside give, Brown. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
3rd and 4.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
For the field goal. A 52-yard attempt.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens, here they come. Down by 13. A little under 2.5 to go. They have 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning to work with, but they also need 2 scores. They've got to go quick. They go play action now. Jackson.
This is a rarity in the NFL, a 100-yard game on the ground for a quarterback. Even as those passers get more athletic and mobile, we only see about 5 of these a season. It takes a special set of circumstances for it to happen, and, of course, a special player.
They come up now on 2nd and 2.
Here's Jackson to throw. To Henry. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
A 2 timeouts still remaining, but scoring quickly, a must. It's 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. He's got Derrick Henry again, back-to-back catches.
And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
And the Bengals are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
On the counter, it's Henry. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
Good yardage there on 1st down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
They'll come up now on 2nd down. Jackson.
He finds Hopkins complete. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game.
First down. A gain of 9 yards. 1st down, Baltimore.
Well, they need to score, and score quick. 1 timeout remaining. Final minute, 1st and 10. And he'll get this underneath to Henry.
And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. He's got good size. We know he's tough to bring down running the ball. That also carries over to the passing game like we saw there.
And at his size, how'd you like to try and stop him on that angle route? Him coming out of the backfield, breaking sharply, catching the football. It's going to take a lot more than one guy.
And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
So the lanes continue to be there for Lamar Jackson to run that football. That his second touchdown run of the game.
You know what I would like? I'd like for us to be able to go into a defense's room after playing Lamar Jackson and watch the tape and see how much of a lane was really there and how much he created just through his talents. In any event, Lamar Jackson finds the end zone, doesn't he?
He always seems to, but that's a good point. We sometimes put blame on the defense. Maybe we just need to praise Lamar Jackson a little bit more.
So still a small chance here with a little over 30 seconds to go, but they're definitely going to need this one to bounce their way. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that, just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that can be a big deal because remember, they were down to their final chance to retake the lead. That home field advantage, I think it helped fuel all of what happened for them down the stretch. A huge win.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Bengals as we say so long from Cincinnati.